Neighbors, welcome back to the kitchen.
Welcome back.
Welcome back. Today we're not going to do cooking. We're going to talk about a traditional Korean cooking ware called
Bangjja
Yugi,
Yugi.
also known as Yugi. It's been a part of Korean history ever since the Goryeo dynasty, which is like year 9, it's somewhere in the 900s.
Not even 1,000?
It hasn't even passed the year 1000. And that bronzeware, that tradition of artisan bronzeware has traveled through Korean history even till this day. Actually, lately, a lot of newlyweds like to get a Bangjja set or a Yugi set. It's back in vogue.
It's like a 신혼 gift.
Yeah,
like a marriage gift.
Yeah, marriage gift. Even when I visited my parents' house,
yeah,
like they have the Bangjja, but it's wrapped in shinmun or newspaper, and they never got to open it because they moved to the U.S. and then they thought they were coming back, but it's still there. I should go get that. Probably like really good quality. Anyway, I diverge.
So when they serve food for like the royal families and the king, they would serve food in this Bangjja Yugi. And what's cool about this Yugi is that it changes color when there is poison. And you might wonder why poison? But actually back in the days when there's a lot of threat to kill the king, the king would like use their spoon and dip it in the dish, and then he would be able to tell if it was poison or if there was poison or not.
Right, because the composition of Bangjja is very unique. It's 78% copper and 22% tin. Wait, did I just say this already? I didn't, right? Okay, sorry. We did multiple takes. This very specific combination or this alloy, it's very sensitive. So if you have a non-organic material like that poison, right, it changes color. So we're gonna do a little test. We bought some cyanide. No, I'm just kidding.
You're gonna poison me.
I've been planning it for a long time.
We want to share some tips on how to maintain this dish.
That's right. So when you first get it, there's pre-steps before using it. And then also, if you don't dry it down properly, there's like wet spots form, right? It's very sensitive. And so like for people who are not familiar with Yugi, you might be like, what? Why is it changing colors already?
Yeah.
But if you know just these two things,
just a little bit of care and love, it will last forever.
It lasts forever. And it's very simple. Come on. Neighbors, of course, we have a lot of Yugi since we sell it all on gochujang. Like we get very lazy sometimes and we just wash it and just let it drip dry, and you can see the wet spots. We want to get rid of that. And the thing about Yugi is that as you polish it more, which we're going to show you how to do, it starts to turn brighter and brighter. Like this one, for example, I polished maybe 2 times, and you can see it's much more golden than this one, which I haven't done, right? And you see it's like it lost its shine. This one is shining.
We have bibimbap a lot in this bowl.
That's right.
If you go to premium Korean restaurants, you'll see that they serve all their food in this Yugi.
And it's so bright because they're polishing it, washing it all the time, right? So I want to get ours to look like that restaurant shine. All right. So let's start off with square one. When you buy your Yugi, oftentimes it's going to come in this plastic, and the reason it's in this plastic is, again, this thing is very sensitive. So if it's very humid or not, you're going to see like discoloration. But again, all of that can be polished off. So you take this off. Katie?
This looks like a bowl, rice bowl.
Wow. Look how beautiful it looks, right? But right now it's not glowing. You see how there's a different golden color? This one is just like more silverish, whereas this is turning golden. First thing you may notice is if you get your big nose to smell it, you can smell a little bit of this metallic smell. And that's because, smell it? You smell it, right?
I don't like that.
Yeah, we have to do a little bit of a pre-step. Each of these pieces, they're not made by mold. So, like factory, the most efficient way is you make a mold, you pour in metal and then, or whatever it is, and it gets pumped out. Bangjja is still an artisan craft, so they make it really hot, get it very, very hot, get the hammer, and they repeat this like very cumbersome process. In the fire, hammering, in the fire, hammering until that 78-22 ratio becomes stable. All right, let's take the soup, banchan. This is the rice bowl, and I think we also have...
이게 rice bowl 뚜껑이야. Look, isn't it?
We got rice bowl 뚜껑.
This is one person set.
All right, and then we got some soju ones. It's so cute. Look at it. Katie, cheers.
Cheers.
Cheers. All right, guys, first thing we're gonna fill a basin with some water. Put like 6 or 7 drops of vinegar.
Vinegar.
Maybe it's 8, maybe it's 9. You don't have to be that accurate. Katie, test the waters. Just give it a little swirly swirl, and then just place it in.
Goodbye.
Goodbye. Enough to submerge them. By the way, Bangjja is very heavy, so it should sink to the bottom. Right? Nice. Actually, I'm gonna give it a few drops more.
Just
We have a lot of water. Yeah. And then we're gonna give it around 15 minutes. It's been soaking for 15 minutes. What we're gonna do, don't empty the water out. We're going to take each piece out, Katie. You take each piece out, and then we're going to just wash it with water.
Just water.
Just water. To be honest, this is just my method that I've learned. There's no like set method, but I just like this way. All right?
Okay.
Yeah. If my method doesn't work, then soak it in tomato juice, and I'm sure it'll work.
tomato juice가 아깝지.
That's why I don't do it.
Does it matter if you wash it in hot water or cold water? Is there a rule?
I think hot water is best. Then we're gonna take those pieces and put it back into the vinegar. Put it back in, and we'll put another 15 minutes.
마 그냥 주는 대로 먹자.
This is the best serving plate ever. All right, now the second 15 minutes is up, and we're done. All we gotta do
Finished.
is just wash it with soap now. Before storing, always dry completely. Don't use a paper towel, just use a kitchen rag, and it should get the job done. All right, so now we have to see if it worked. Does it smell or not? Be honest. I mean, you don't have to go to the molecular level. I'm just saying, does it smell or not?
A little bit.
Slightly?
Yeah, I think it's a little bit, tiny bit left. But
Okay.
because we've never used this, I think it's very natural. But it will very quickly
Yeah.
disappear.
If you wash it, as you use it and wash it, that leftover, a small residual, that will disappear. Or for some strange reason, if it's not going away, try just soaking it in tomato juice for 15-20 minutes and washing it. And I think that should do the trick. Start step number 2, which is when you get stains. How do you deal with it? I'm going to show you the watermarks. Sometimes it turns black. We're going to use the backside of your dishwasher sponge. You know the scourge pad. It's the green one. It's this one that everyone is familiar with. But the thing is, it should be completely dry. I forgot, and I did some dishwashing before this to get our kitchen looking proper or decent enough.
아, no, 흔들지 마.
Yeah, so it's wet, so no good. But luckily, I do have some scourge pad that's like specially designed. This one is from the company that supplies gochujang. But again, you don't need the special one. You can just use the backside of a 3M pad. Scourge, right? You see, it's just different color. It's the same thing as a 3M. Actually, the company also gives a fine one, right? It feels like you're one to like make your skin smoother. And when you scrub it, there's gonna be like a fine black powder that comes off. And you don't want that fine powder to go into your food or around your kitchen area. Ideally, you should be doing this in your backyard, but you know, or your veranda or somewhere where it's not your kitchen. But we're gonna just do it here for the sake of filming and lighting. Use your 3M green pad.
이렇게 하면 돼? 오!
세게.
세게 하고 있어.
이제 거기
Oh,
아래서.
I see.
That COVID thing is so distracting. Let me put something in. Alright, better.
Oh, you're so weird. Oh, it feels really good.
Right?
It's like getting off dust.
So you see this fine black powder that I was talking about? There it is. It's coming off. The stain comes off like that. So it's
how often do you have to do this?
whenever you see stains, you can do it. But again, each time you polish, it turns brighter and brighter. All you have to do is dry off completely before storing. And actually what I've noticed is that as you polish it more and more, and even if there's water and you don't completely dry off, the stains happen less and less because the surface becomes so polished. Yeah.
그렇구나.
And then since this one, they gave you a finer scourge pad.
Look at my hand.
Oh yeah, I forgot to say, you should put on some gloves because wiping this black one, it takes some time.
Really?
It's kind of like engine oil. I completely forgot. I'm sorry.
You should have told me earlier.
Yeah, it takes like 3 or 4
Days?
no, like hand washes, and then it'll come off. There you go. That's good.
예쁘다.
All right. Okay, just tap it off. Katie, now you're gonna wash this off with water once.
Okay.
All right. Make sure there's no other dishes because this fine powder is coming off.
It's shiny.
You right? Wow, looks
like
like
the
new,
sun.
right? All right, and then you're gonna grab your dishwashing sponge, go over it with soap. All right, and then Katie, you want to get the backside too? Good. And then, wow, I could see it's turning really, really pretty. Wow! And the reason we got the stains in the first place,
Because
Now-
we didn't dry it properly.
Right, now we're gonna dry it.
Looks like gold.
All right, and look, this is something that Indiana Jones would want to steal. Dr. Jones, Dr. Jones! Now you don't see those water spots and it's back to normal. And basically you can repeat this process for 100 years and 100 years later it'll look more golden, but
And you can pass it down.
to your kids or whatever. Seriously, that's what happens. You see Katie didn't do the back, so there's still water spots. So do the front and back.
Who looks at the back?
Bad attitude. All right, and that's all you need to do. Pretty simple, right? Okay. Now, all right, and now Katie is back scraping a little.
Duck.
We actually use this for decoration in our house, not even for
Yeah.
serving. Yeah. All right, I'll help you out, Katie. Sometimes information is power.
이거 잘 된 거는 좀잘 됐고요.
이거 많이 하면 접시가 없어지는 거 아니야? 20 years later, the dish became half the size. I'm gonna eat you. She tried to cheat, but he still got the stain.
Yeah, it made a little hole in my glove. Your dry 3M scourge pads, just keep this separate somewhere away from your food and your regular dishwasher sponges. And here's the reason why I said to use an old dishwasher sponge when you're washing it. Right.
내가 또
You
이렇게
gotta toss this out. Alright, and there it is. Look at it. If you want to flex like you got golden bowls, this would work nice in Hollywood as a prop. But that golden color right here, you can also see why this was used to serve the royal dynasty in Korea and why it's been passed down generation to generation. 동이가 닦았네. You know, I've always heard this like, it changes color when there's poison on it. I think we go Bill Nye the Science Guy right now and see if that's actually true.
Did you get the poison?
So for our poison today,
What is it?
unfortunately I don't have cyanide, but I do have some Clorox.
Oh my gosh!
Clorox, I'm sure, is equal to cyanide for someone who eats it. It's not good. It's inorganic. So let's see. It's supposed to change color. I think it's supposed to turn a little black in the area where there is non-organic material. Here we go.
Let's see. 무섭네. Oh.
I'm gonna remove the foam so we can see what's going on underneath. In my mind, when they said it changed colors, I was thinking like some rainbow stain, but yeah, you can clearly see the outline
No,
of
it
something
just said
outlined.
it changes color.
But now let's do a little test. We'll put a
Comparison.
strong clear thing. This is just vinegar. Let's see if it makes. Whoa, Katie, that's good enough. Let's see if they're. Now let's see if it makes a similar outline. We'll give it like 30 seconds. But this makes sense. Nowadays, when food comes out, we put it right into our stomachs immediately. But back in the day, when you're prepping food for the king, you know, it's a lot. It's a whole table spread, so it's sitting out. And then by the time it comes to the king, it should have had like a few minutes, and you'll see this outline. Let's empty this vinegar out, and then let's see what happens to the vinegar.
이거 닦은 거야?
아니?
그냥 그렇게 마른 거야?
Whoa, it's been a few minutes now. And this organic, the vinegar, there's no outline of anything.
Is that what they mean?
It's discolored. Wow, and surprisingly it does work. You see the difference? You can tell there's no outline of anything here. We almost killed the king with some Clorox. No good. Alrighty neighbors, that was the end of our little science experiment.
It was fun.
Yeah, indeed. That's Yugi. That's Bangjja. If you have Korean parents or relatives, ask them if they have some Bangjja left over from their wedding date. And then it's even more meaningful because then you can use theirs. Of course, you're going to have to get your hands literally a little bit dirty. Katie, show yours. Proof of work.
Proof of work.